Okay, so I'm Yaliwa Soko, and I chair the United African Blockchain Association. In short, we actually call it UABA. So UABA is a non-profit organization whose main focus really is to create awareness and really foster the adoption of blockchain technology across Africa. And we've actually decided to do this mainly through education, right? Because we believe that with education we can achieve a lot more. So we've got certain goals that we actually focused on, like we're looking at gender equality, poverty alleviation, fair and efficient trade, to mention a few, but the main focus for us is education. So we do have some training programs, right? And so we've got a focus on what we call train the trainer. So in short, we normally say triple T, and this is really to foster our mission of reaching and teaching 1 million people on blockchain in Africa. And what we do is we actually educate one person to reach 10 people. So we give you some kind of formal blockchain education, and we ask you to go and at least reach out to 10 people within your communities, tell them a little bit more about blockchain and what blockchain can do. And on top of that, just think around use cases that you believe that blockchain technology can actually help solve within those communities. We also have another focus area, which is the United Africa Women in Blockchain and AI initiative. And with that, we're looking at empowering women, especially women that have, I won't say that have actually been victims of gender-based violence, because looking at an African perspective, if you look at South Africa, women are killed almost every day, right? Let me just say Africa in general, and mainly it's because a lot of women for a long time have not been empowered enough to be able to take care of themselves, and they've carried this thing of depending on men. And that way, they've been victims of gender-based violence. So we're actually trying to see how help them to learn a new skill and possibly how they can get involved in the blockchain space. And another initiative that we actually focused on is the blockchain for kids. So that is the UABA Academy. So we're trying to teach our children about blockchain in a way that's simple for them to understand. And we've seen that a lot of young people are actually easy to teach, because they don't really have to unlearn a lot of things like most of us. So we've actually focused on creating the UABA Academy. Just for context, UABA has a presence in 9 countries across Africa. So our recent visit to Kenya was kind of really activating these ecosystems that we are creating across the continent. So we had a discussion, which was an open forum, and just really invited strategic stakeholders within Kenya to listen and also to learn quite a few things about the Kenyan ecosystem and how UABA can contribute. And it was a huge success, because we had different views from different people, which actually helps us to look at Kenya from a different perspective and how we can contribute to the ecosystem. Same thing with Zambia, right? So Zambia's first, the association was first formulated in 2019. And that was really to replicate what we had already started doing in South Africa. And due to COVID, we didn't have a chance to really come down here. But since the restrictions were eased, we decided to come and see how we can activate the Zambian ecosystem. So we had an activation event around February, and the Minister of Technology and Science was actually the keynote speaker. And he actually spoke a lot more about how he thinks blockchain could actually contribute to the Zambian economy. And with that, we got into a partnership with the ministry. So recently, we did a training. And the training was to really educate the ministry on blockchain, its possible use cases for the public sector, and how the Zambian government can take advantage of the technology, and which was a great success, because we had different stakeholders participating, like Zampost, which is the Zambia Postal Services. We had ZICTA, which is the ICT regulator, present. We had people coming in from the educational sector, like the bursaries committee. So it was actually a huge success, and we can see there's a lot of eagerness to actually implement blockchain within the Zambian ecosystem, or I'd say the public sector. And out of that also, we actually looking at a partnership with the Zambia National Commercial Bank. That is to really foster innovation in the blockchain sector, and also to really see how the bank can utilize this technology within the banking system. I believe there's a lot of potential because we haven't been here for long activating, but the response has been amazing. You can see public and private sector actually trying to put their foot into the technology and actually learn from us. So we're looking at things, we're also looking at a potential of actually building curriculums for the Zambian educational systems, right? Starting from primary school to maybe university level, because there's that willingness for people to come to the table and also help us push. So I'm seeing Zambia exploding. And I'm seeing UABA actually expanding to different provinces across the country because there's been huge interest, even from some areas that you wouldn't even know that they existed, because we've actually really gone out there in the media, local media, and spoken to the people. So we see UABA having massive offices here in Zambia, really empowering the Zambian people, and also seeing a lot of innovation, right? Like blockchain-based products, and also having a lot of other organizations looking at Zambia from a very different perspective, because I know there hasn't been really much of a focus on the country, because I think there's not much that's being talked about, right, about what's happening. So I see a very different environment.